There were two RESONATE trials, RESONATE-1, RESONATE-2. RESONATE-2 was a frontline treatment for chlorambucil versus ibrutinib in frontline less fit patients. I was involved in the RESONATE-1 study, which was relapsed refractory patients, including patients with a p53 deletion, and the long-term follow-up data was presented at last 2018 ASH for 7 years, and the good news is that almost half the patients are still on treatment, and the safety profile is extremely acceptable for that population. I think the thing worth mentioning about all these studies, because there was another poster at EHA which compared what's called real-world data to trial data, and the interesting thing in CLL with novel agents, and the benefit to patients now is that because the novel agents have a very acceptable toxicity profile, they're amenable to all patients at all levels of fitness. And many of the trials that I've mentioned to you involve patients with what's called a SEER score of greater than 6. Now, SEER stands for Cumulative Illness Rating Score. So that means a SEER score of 6 means you have a number of other comorbidities and you may be medicated for other illnesses. And that is essentially when you're dealing with an older population, which represents the majority of CLL patients, you're dealing with a more realistic population in clinical trials. Previously, clinical trials, you had to be very fit and no extra drugs, etc. But now the clinical trials are representative of what we actually see in real life. And the interesting poster from EHA compared real-world data to trials data, and the results were almost identical.